And we are on. Hello, everyone. It's Jodie from The 7 Effect here. And look, I've got a visitor.
It's me, Michelle Parsons. Hello, everyone.
The world famous funeral celebrant
yes.
and one of our lifestyle business builders. So Michelle and I have just spent the last couple of hours doing some work on her online program, My Emotional Will. And I thought, I've got to do my live video for the day. And
so she's conned me into joining her for her live video.
Neither of us have makeup. Thank goodness for the Snap camera
this
filter.
This filter's pretty good. I'm moving house at the moment. No hair, no makeup, and it's not too scary.
And speaking of moving house, your removalist experience, do you mind?
No, this is why I'm a celebrant and I'm not a removalist.
Ready?
So this is
Black
what
boob alert.
happens when you move yourself and you have a brand new printer that cost you a lot of money.
Did the printers get smashed, by the way?
Do you know what? It actually works. What the crap we've been through the last 6 or 7 weeks. We took it into the office. Hubby put it down. A few bits of gravel came out because I was carrying the printer to the car. I tripped on the cord. I went, oh my God, the printer's going to go through the windscreen of our car. It's a new printer. Got to save the printer. Went down on the concrete and the gravel. The printer went first. Boobs and me went second. Printer survived. And every time I use it, a few bits of gravel sort of split out. But you know what? It's good to go. That's just a sign of my evolving life at the moment. So,
oh my God.
I
now,
know.
Michelle is in one of these industries that has been massively impacted by the coronavirus. By the way, we have got some eyeballs here watching. If you are watching, we can't see who's watching, but do drop in and say hello. We can see comments come up.
Oh,
and if you've got any questions for Michelle, do let us know and she can answer them. But I wanted to get her on to talk a little bit about how your industry has been impacted and some of the things you're doing to pivot right now.
Well, COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, is impacting. I don't actually know of an industry that hasn't been impacted by this, to be honest. So I thought, I've got the surest job in the world, death and taxes. Both of them going to happen. I'll never run out of work. Work's declining.
Yeah.
So basically, the government legislation has now said that outdoor services can have a maximum of 15 people, including the funeral director and myself, and or an assistant. So they're trying not to use assistants so they don't use up the family numbers.
Yep.
Indoor services maximum of 10 people, including the funeral director and myself. So we've gone from having, I sometimes do services with 500 or 600 people to a service with 8 people.
Yeah, wow.
And a lot of families are opting not to have a funeral.
Yep.
So they're opting to have what's called a non-service cremation, which means they're looking at having the ashes returned to them and then looking at doing a memorial service later on.
Wow.
So, of course, we don't know how long these restrictions are going to be in place. So we could be, working these numbers for 3 months. It could be 6 months. It could be a year. So I've had to sort of think on my
your feet,
and
which is what we're doing here today.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Rebirth myself in a different way. Need be the natural baby glow. No makeup, no. But,
we're rebirthing thanks to Snap camera filters, which is great.
Correct.
But what's been really wonderful is Michelle already launched an online program called My Emotional Will. And we've just got together and thought, all right, how do we look at spreading this? Because you've been so busy with your funerals up until recently.
I haven't had any time to scratch myself. And I've been literally sitting at my computer at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, evolving My Emotional Will and getting all the modules done.
But now we can start marketing
I've got more free time, I can start to focus on marketing and getting it out there, because obviously we all should be self-isolating. People are working from home. They're spending more time online.
Yeah.
So really, being a smart cookie and having a business coach that tells me constantly I'm a smart cookie, I need to harness that as a positive and not look at it as a negative. So, looking at maybe doing some special offers, looking at really starting to grow and promote my products so that I may not be able to help my families physically, but online and virtually I can certainly be there for them.
And I know for me, I have been coaching and teaching more than ever actually, but it's all through Zoom. And you and Rosie are the only two clients I've had actually here.
It's because I'm old-fashioned.
Yeah,
okay.
we do like to do face-to-face.
I'm a face-to-face, hands-on girl.
Yeah,
so.
but we've got our
distance, and I don't actually have internet at home.
Yes,
they're not connecting it till end of next week, and my hotspotting is dropping out every 8 to 9 minutes, which would have driven poor old Jody insane. So I said, look, we'll do our social distancing. I'll come in, I'll sit at one end of the desk, you can sit at the other, and, let's get this done.
Yeah.
Before school holidays.
And I just think it's interesting. Oh, look, Vasso's here as well. And so Vasso's saying, hello, gorgeous ladies. Hi, Vasso. Great to see you. Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. But I think it's really nice to see, well, obviously there's a lot of industries that are challenging, and it's, entire businesses are collapsing, which is definitely not nice to see.
Sad.
As a business owner, I'm a big supporter of all people in business. But what's exciting to see is the creativity, the innovation that can come out of it. And even in an industry like funerals, where you would think, well, how do you take that online? And you're finding a way.
Absolutely. Never in a million years did I ever think it's not that I wouldn't get the work, but did I ever think that anything of this magnitude could affect such a traditional, long-lasting, reassuring, physically, emotionally supporting families? Did I ever think that something this big would decimate the industry? So I've been very fortunate. I've still had a few services, but certainly not the volume that I have. And I'm worried about my clients. I'm worried about how they're dealing with their grief. I'm worried about how they're dealing with the fact that, if they choose not to have a funeral, and you can still have a funeral, but as I said, under those new restrictions, how are they going to cope with this? How are they going to record, their memories of their loved one? They don't get a chance to read that in a eulogy because they're choosing not to have a service. So maybe by doing My Emotional Will online, they can do that in memory of the person that's died. And they can also start to create their own memories for their families for when they die.
Yeah. And I think, even for people having access to someone like you, even to have some Zoom chats with and guide them through, there would surely be opportunities for that.
Definitely.
I was saying to Michelle, I know my dad passed away a couple of years ago, and he was overseas when he died. It was a tragic shock. And the funeral was the thing that really allowed us to say goodbye properly, because he was overseas. I didn't get to see him. It wasn't to be expected. And, I can't imagine what it would be like right now if you were losing loved ones and not able to bring the entire really family together. And you were saying before that people are telling you you're going to be flat out in 6 months, but you think maybe not.
No, everyone says, you're going to be working dime to the dozen in 6 months' time. I don't think that's true. I don't think families are going to go back to a funeral home and say, excuse me, can we please pay
6 months later, can I now have a funeral?
To use your venue, and can you recommend a celebrant? They may do, but I don't think the majority will. No. So I'd also like families to know that I'm available for them when they do decide that they want to do something, and they can have greater numbers. And whether that be where we had, because I was very lucky, Jodie asked me to do her dad's service, whether we have it at a beautiful location like where you had your dad, or we have it at a community centre, a pub, or a restaurant, or at home, or car club, or you can do it anywhere.
There was no funeral home involved in my dad's service. It was just you and me and family and friends.
It was beautiful.
And Dad, who's up on my shelf
Nana.
there. And Nana, my Nana. And look, Sue's here saying hello. Sue's always here. Hey, Sue, great to see you. But anyway, it's great that you're here. Tell us about what's happening tonight as well. She's got something exciting to go to.
I have a friend, Judsha, who is a very well-known, famous chef, and she has decided to turn the whole COVID experience into COVID cooking. And what she's doing is she's choosing people from the community. Mm-hmm. She approaches you and says, give me what you've got in your fridge and freezer.
Love that.
Protein, carb, fruit, vegetables.
Yep.
I will collect it from your doorstep, so there's no interaction.
Yep.
At 10 o'clock in the morning, and I will bring you back a 3 or 4 course degustation at 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So we've been following her in the paper and on TV and in Facebook, and then we get a message through a few nights ago saying, guys, I'd really like to choose you.
Wow.
And
so she chose you guys. Isn't that beautiful? She's probably seen the hell you've been through on Facebook with the moving, with the bruises.
Oh, my God. We were buying a house, then we were buying a house, and we had to find a rental. Then 2 days before the rental, the removalist company cancelled because of COVID. So need be, the black boob is a sign of the fact I am not a removalist. I will not be going into the removalist industry. So hubby and I were forced to hire a truck. We had our children help us because we could only have family and we had to keep the numbers low. It's just been
crazy,
an absolute mess.
Yeah.
So I think she looked at it.
A shit show.
A shit show. How much shittier and crappier could their life get? I think we've hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
So she's actually doing that for us tonight. So
So
I'm
well
about to
deserved.
head off. I think she's at the door at the moment with Rick, and he's accepting the offer, and I'm
beautiful.
so grateful. So we've
Yep.
got a bottle of champagne to pop to celebrate all the shit that we've been through for the last 7 weeks.
Let's
And
make
it's
tonight's
just
dinner
a cleansing.
the line in the sand. Go all the crap.
Correct.
The shit show is
Correct.
over now.
Correct.
The de-gestation is the start.
Correct.
I don't know if I said that
Yes,
right.
you did. Yep.
But it's the start of a new era.
Correct.
And here's to My Emotional Will,
Absolutely.
being an online resource that can help families all over the country. In fact, all
Absolutely.
over
And
the world.
I'm very mindful, of course, that families are in predicaments where, you know, some families aren't working, partners have lost income. So I'm going to have a very special offer coming up.
Oh, brilliant. That's lovely. Excellent. Well, thank you. I hope you enjoy. Oh, I'm not allowed to touch you. Hope you enjoy your dinner. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's my smiley face done for today's live video.
And I hope my smiley face wasn't too scary, sans makeup and lovely hair. So...
And see you, Vaso, see you, Sue, and whoever else
everyone.
might be watching as well. Thanks very much for dropping
And you know,
in, Michelle.
just remember, things change. You've got to think on your feet. You've got to
That's
roll
right.
with the punches, so to speak.
Yeah.
But it's okay to change and evolve, and it's just different. It's just your new normal.
That's right. And I think one of the biggest lessons that we've all learned, and we were talking about this before, is some of the stuff that we may have been grinding away at for all of a sudden doesn't seem so important.
Gone.
Yeah, I actually feel more relaxed and peaceful, but at the same time more focused and driven than I have in a long time. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. And for the business builders, see you on the call tonight. Bye.
Bye.